Hi everyone, this is Alex. You may know me from... Nah, just kidding. This is my first video, you don't know me. I've been studying Japanese for a while and I feel like this is the time I give back my knowledge to the people. Gee, that was cheesy. Anyway, on this channel I'm gonna post videos of me explaining some Japanese found in anime, manga, and songs and other sources. This channel is inspired by many other channels, notably Viktor's Guide to Japanese, where he explains phrases from his favorite anime. I love these videos and I have watched them many times, and I remember how when I just started learning Japanese, it really helped me. Um, I'm going to post a link to his YouTube channel in the description, and I suggest you check it out. I'm not too far into my Japanese studies, I'd say, and I'm kind of at the point where everything just kind of starts clicking in. I just start realizing how everything works, what's going on. I guess it's great that I'm still learning because I can explain stuff from a learner's perspective. And, well, sorry for the long introduction. This is the first video of the channel after all, and I promise not to have such long introductions in the future. Today we're gonna look at a rather short video clip from an ongoing show called Tokyo Ghoul, or Tokyo Guru in Japanese. I'm going to show the video 3 times. First in Japanese with no subs. I feel like it's going to force you to listen carefully and try to understand what's going on. Second time is going to be with Japanese subtitles on, so you can read along. And the third time is going to be English subtitles. So, let's start.
正確に言えばカネキくんが食べながらカネキくんを食べたいそうしたい
Well, let's watch it one more time with the Japanese subtitles on.
正確に言えばカネキくんが食べながらカネキくんを食べたいそうしたい
And let's watch it the last time with the English subtitles on.
正確に言えばカネキくんが食べながらカネキくんを食べたいそうしたい
So that is the video for today. When I watched the episode, I really loved that particular moment. The character's name is Shu, and his voice is just awesome. He's voiced by Mamoru Miyano, who also voiced Yagami Light from Death Note, Okabe, Metal Scientisto from Steins Gate, and many others, so you might have recognized his voice. So Shu, the crazy screaming guy, wants to eat the protagonist, who is on the right of this photo, while he is eating the girlfriend of the guy on the left. Crazy, I know. The video is very short, but has lots of grammar to analyze, so let's see what Shu has to say and analyze it step by step. The first thing he says is "seikaku ni ieba." Seikaku means accurate or precise, and it's an adjective and a noun. I want to explain how it can be both an adjective and a noun. That's going to be a topic for another time. So here it's actually used as a noun, so a closer translation could be something like accurateness or exactness. You can see that there is a ni particle added to the noun, so it becomes seikaku ni. Ni particle can have many different meanings, ranging from a directional particle to a time particle at. I think in this situation you could think of ni as a particle indicating that something is done by means of something. So to say, something is done by means of accurateness, exactness, preciseness. Or to make it sound a bit better in English, you could say it means just accurately, precisely. Another way you could think of ni particle is that it specifies a target of a verb. This is how Kim explains it, and you should check out his explanation. I'll post the link below. Next thing Shu says is ieba, which is a conjugated form of a verb you, which means to say. In this sentence, it is conjugated into above form, which is a simple if condition. So if you put a verb to say into above form, it would mean something like if to say, if saying. I think you should spend a considerable amount of time on grammar in general and conjugations in particular, because they appear everywhere in the Japanese language, and you will need to learn them very well. I'm going to post a link to Kim's guide page dedicated to conditionals, including ba form, so check it out. I really like Taikim's guide to Japanese, and I'm gonna use it a lot. I'm gonna post links to it, so you should definitely check it out. So let's put the whole phrase together. Seikaku, preciseness, ni, by means of, ieba, if saying, if to say. So the phrase becomes if to say by means of preciseness, or to smooth it out a bit, if to say precisely, or even just to say precisely. The English subs translated as to be more precise, and this is what it essentially means, but now we know that in fact in Japanese, Shu says to say precisely. Next thing he says, Kaneki kun ga tabe nagara. Kaneki is the name of the main protagonist of the story, and Shu is kind of obsessed with him. You'll have to watch the series to understand why. So, Shu says Kaneki kun. Kun is a male name ender used in Japanese. You use it when you address males of lower social status, and you attach it to their first name or sometimes their last name. As you may know, in the Japanese society, social status plays a huge role, and it also affects the language a lot, as you can see. Thus, Shu is, or maybe he thinks he is, of a higher social status than Kaneki, or he could also simply be older than Kaneki, and thus he uses kun name ender to address Kaneki. Next is the particle ga, which is attached to Kaneki-kun, so it becomes Kaneki-kun ga. If you're watching this video, I assume that you have studied Japanese for at least some time, maybe just a week or a month, but you at least started. Ga is one of the first things that is taught, at least I think so, and it usually frustrates learners of Japanese and causes all sort of confusion because people keep confusing it with wa. I assume you probably already figured out how you like to think of ga particle for yourself, so I will be brief in explaining it. Ga is a subject particle, excuse me, which means that it indicates the subject of a sentence, while wa marks the topic. The way I like to think about it is wa particle means as for, while ga particle puts more emphasis on the subject. Think about these two sentences. Kyou wa iku, which means as for today, I'll go. Kyou means today, wa marks the topic, iku means to go. You're talking about today, of what you're going to do today. So wa marks today as the topic. Another sentence could be kyou ga iku, which means I'll go today, not tomorrow, but today, which puts more emphasis on the subject. In this sentence, the topic is I, and it's implicit. The whole sentence could be watashi wa kyou ga iku. Watashi means I, so I is the topic while today is the subject. I will go today. There are many ways to think of ga particle, and I suggest you read about it more yourself. Taikim thinks about ga particle as an identifier particle, and it's similar to the way I like thinking about it. He wrote a great post on the differences between ha and ga. I'm going to post a link in the description, so check it out. Next, we have a very interesting piece of grammar. The phrase that Shu says is tabe nagara. It comes from the verb taberu, which means to eat. It then becomes tabe nagara. Nagara is a very useful piece of grammar. It basically means while. So as you might have guessed, tabe nagara means while eating. It is formed by taking a so-called masu or mas form, depending on what dialect of Japanese you're learning, and adding nagara to it. Mas form is taken by putting any verb into polite form, then removing the mas part. So taberu becomes tabemas, which is the polite form. Then you remove mas from it, and you have a mass form of verb taberu, which is tabe. You might think, why wouldn't he just drop re, but it's not that simple for other types of verbs. For example, kau, which means to buy, becomes kai in mas form. Mas form is also called verb stems. If you don't know it, read about it, links in the description. So far the phrase we have is Kaneki-kun ga tabe nagara. Putting it together, it means while Kaneki-kun is eating. Doesn't make too much sense yet, so let's proceed. So here we have Kaneki-kun o tabetai. You already know what Kaneki-kun means, so let's look at o. O is a direct object particle. Basically, it connects a verb with a noun on which the action of the verb is performed. In this sentence, the verb is a conjugated version of taberu. Let's talk about unconjugated version of taberu for now. So Kaneki kun wo taberu would mean to eat Kaneki kun. If you had to put wo somewhere in the English version of this sentence, it would be something like to eat wo Kaneki kun. To eat whom? To eat Kaneki kun. Sounds a bit weird, but I hope it conveys the point. So let's now look at the conjugation of taberu that's happening here. In this sentence, taberu is conjugated into a tai form. Conjugation rules are the same as for nagara, which is put the verb into mas or stem form and add tai, so it becomes tabetai. Tai form indicates that the speaker wants to do something. Hanashitai would mean I want to speak. Kaitai would mean I want to buy. So as you can guess, Shu is saying that he wants to eat Kaneki-kun. If you remember in the previous scene, he was saying Kaneki kun ga tabe nagara, which means while Kaneki kun is eating. Put together, Kaneki kun ga tabe nagara Kaneki kun o tabetai literally means while Kaneki kun is eating, I want to eat Kaneki kun. You might remember that the English translation is a bit different from that. It was I want to eat Kaneki kun while he's eating her. Her in this sentence is omitted. It follows from the context and would make sense if the video clip was a bit longer because Shu talks about her earlier. So let's look at the last phrase. It's so shitai. It's a bit hard to explain what so actually means. I am sure you probably heard phrases like so desu ne, which means it is so, isn't it? Or so desu ka, which means is that so? Basically, so means something like that thing I was talking about, or just that thing that just was mentioned. There is also a pretty common phrase which is so suru. The verb suru means to do. To put together so and suru, it means to do so. And this is what gets conjugated into so shitai. Because so suru, in so suru, suru is the part that is actually a verb. Attached to so, we conjugate suru into tai form, so it becomes shitai, which means want to do something. And thus, so shitai becomes want to do so. Or to say it more eloquently, that's what I want to do. Meaning to eat Kaneki-kun while he's eating. So let's put it all together. 正確に言えば、Kaneki kunが食べながら、Kaneki kunを食べたい。そうしたい。To say precisely, I want to eat Kaneki kun while he is eating. That's what I want. Pretty cool phrase in my opinion. Let's watch the video one more time.
正確に言えば、金木くんが食べながら、金木くんを食べたい。そうしたい。
I hope you liked it. This is the first video, so it can be a bit unpolished and sloppy at times, but I hope I will improve in the future. Please leave any comments, suggestions, or requests in the comment section below. Point out if I made any mistakes in pronunciation or any explanations and such. And I hope to see you soon.